here we are. It's Friday. It's, what is it, January the 29th, 30th, something like that. Anyways, today we're going to go to Heyuan and take a look at the, well, a place where a friend of mine, Taylor, is going to be getting a job. This is the school, the university that I work at, and I keep my bike so I can do these little trips. Anyways, so yeah, we will pick it back up in Heyuan. Oh, let's have a look at our camera person. Close your visor. Yeah, he's ready for travel. Woohoo! Adventure, so sexy. All right, and we're out. Well, we are here stuck waiting on some kind of military convoy. Those soldiers, they've got the road blocked off, so en route on the crappy G324 heading east, and it is a crappy road, a kind of windy, cold day, wet. It's not raining, but I don't know, I thought it would be better than this. You don't get a lot of windy days here in southern China, but we just so happen to pick one of them. So we will soldier on. Over and out. Huge. This convoy is huge. I don't normally run across this big of a gathering. Not normally, but then again, I'm not always on the road everywhere at all times, so I have seen it a few times. And I don't know, they must be doing some exercise, obviously. And they are not stopping for any traffic lights, and neither are we. Man, it's cold. I mean, it's not, you know, extremely cold, but it's cold enough to put a slight damper on this trip. First aid. Luckily that's nearby. I wonder if they would stop if there was an accident. Doubtful. Very highly doubtful. Yeah, here we are, part of the military procession. We're going to cruise up here and pass all this obstruction. Looks like they're all turning off. Anyways. Okay, and that's that. Wow, I think we've hit some, I think the sun's come out. This is fantastic. It's still a little bit cold, but windy. But this is great. I'm able to make some really great time here because this road, S244, heading up towards Huyan is brand new, so it's going to make our trip a lot more comfortable through this stretch. Anyways, we're running into some crap traffic now. This is it, the Xinfengjiang Reservoir. Heyuan, and the beautiful place, as you can see. I'm taking it easy on the bike for several reasons. Number one, I got a passenger on here, so if I do spin out and crash myself, that's one thing, but I don't want to hurt somebody else while I'm busy getting kicked. So trips to the ER, as some of you have seen from my Facebook posts this past summer, are no fun in China. Broken bones and pain medicine, all that kind of jazz. Not my cup of tea. But also, I'm not real familiar with this place. I've been here a couple times, but it's been a while. So not entirely sure what to expect at every turn, etc. Also, the road integrity, the road surface, it varies from place to place, and some turns that I've gone around, there's gravel spilled out in the road and stuff, and that's all you need is to hit a few little pebbles and that'll send you spinning. Also, these tires that are on this bike currently are some real cheapos. I'm talking like 20 bucks each. Very poor quality rubber, and especially wet. No good. So yeah, so we're just going to be taking it easy. And do I go? I don't go that way, apparently. Xinfengjiang Reservoir. Oh, whoa. That was an accident, believe it or not. Sort of. But yeah, the road's gonna vary coming through here, different places, so I don't want to spin out. I definitely don't want any trips to the ER. It's the last place that I want to go, so we're gonna take it easy and enjoy the ride. It is beautiful getting here because you have to go through some real crap on the way. Motorcycles are not allowed on the expressways, on the toll roads here in China. So you have to take all these county and highway, county roads, basically, national roads that are just awful. Usually loaded with trucks and, you know, potholes, things of that nature. Dusty, you know, exhaust fumes in your face and stuff like that. Not to mention, you know, people in some of the more rural areas will just dart out into the road without even looking. Which brings us to some other interesting topics I'm not going to cover right now. Way up the mountain. Probably good that we got here on a Friday afternoon. On the weekends, I imagine there'll be more people here. Plus, approaching the Lunar New Year. So most people are really crunching down at work right now before they take their long holiday. Everyone goes back to their hometowns. There's probably not a lot of people traveling right now. We kind of get this place all to ourselves, which is nice. I'll take it. Sure how this riding footage is going to turn out. I know it kind of looks like I'm driving sloppy and not real fast, and that would be true. It's a little bumpy, and we're kind of going up. This will be the first pass, and then I'll take the same. I'll just kind of go up and then turn back around, as opposed to taking a different exit route, because that'll require me to take a completely different route home. I don't know what this is. Maybe nothing. Probably nothing. Let's have a look. Potential disaster there. This is no good. Let's go back onto the relatively safer main stretch. Oh wait, let's see. No, there's a better place to get a photo. Oh, that's beautiful. Great. There's a better place for photos. Stop up here. We'll stop and eat a candy bar. Stop. Wow. Wow. Here we go. This is the place to stop. Oh yeah, lovely. Get out here and get up on some of these rocks and have a look. Get off. Oh. She's stable. Let's have a look. I think there's some other place to look. I'm recording now, by the way. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that lovely? Oh, and I need to pee. All right. So we'll pick back up in a minute. Oh, I've got to pee bad. All right. I've eaten here before, I think. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Ma. 一点点。While I'm taking it slow, you can see the integrity of the road surface I was talking about. It's not great. Sand and stuff in the road. And that stuff will make you spin out. We don't want any hiccups today, if we can avoid them. Because I cannot use my rear brake due to the nature of the brace that I'm wearing for my tibia. It renders my ankle inflexible, so I can't press the brake unless I, just basically stomp on it with my heel. And right now I've got it propped on my drop bars, nice and comfortable. Check if you know you can only use the front brake, you're not going to drive quite the same way you would if you have to anticipate braking with only your front brake all the time. It keeps you in check a little bit. Do you want to eat? Do you want to eat? Yeah. We can eat right there. I've eaten there before.
Okay.
Yeah, bees. Anything. Huh? Stopped in at this little place before, a little shack. I've been here last year. It's also a bee farm where they bee farm, honey farm. Well, I don't know what you call that, but yeah. So these little boxes with where all the bees are. You can see them buzzing around. All right. go and eat a little bit before we head back into the big city of Huyan. City of, well, you'll see all about it. Again, I'm taking it extremely easy on this road, very cautious, because I'm not sure about the integrity of the road surface. Familiar with the roads, you know, somebody's around a turn like this, and they drive me completely into the lane. It would be a lot of fun to hit these at a really fast pace, and I'll give a shout out to my sole subscriber out there, Muletown, Seatown, Columbia, hometown buddy, Steve Clark. I saw from his YouTube page he's into this drone photography. This would be a great place to get some aerial shots, I think. Nice ride. I've seen some, I think it was about a 4-kilometer range. 4 miles? 4 kilometers or 4 miles? I don't know. Trust these cheapo tires they got on here right now enough to do anything too extreme. Just doing a little bit around the Xinfengjiang Reservoir area. Go back into Huyan. I'm scared, Mo. I'm scared, Paul. Oh, crash. Not after what I've been through this past summer. So, taking her easy. Easy peasy. I've been in some places where they didn't have these guardrails up. Going around turns, and if you lost it, you just fly right off the mountain. You don't want to do that either. Not today. But I don't know. I've always thought if I were diagnosed with something like, you know, some terminal disease like cancer or something, why not just go out with a bang? It's just a beautiful mountain. glad the sun came out today. It's gonna be cloudy and gloomy all day. Stay in Huyan. I think I'd stay straight, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is. I guess you can see. There's a few buildings, but it's residential. Heyuan Dadao. Dinosaurs Museum. That might be something interesting. Let's see, they're waiting. Generally, motorcycle drivers do not wait for lights or obey any traffic laws. What? Don't tell him yet. So, if they're waiting, that means, I don't know, maybe there's some law enforcement here? I don't know. That would be rare also. Here we are, the foreigner breaking the laws. Huh? That way, right? Back.
What kind of flower?
I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I don't know.
I've never seen that.
You're Chinese, don't you know that? Nice place. These small cities in China, and this is definitely a small city. I mean, I think I saw about 1 million people. I read Wikipedia in the metropolitan area, so 1 million people in China. I mean, I don't know how to compare it to anything in the States. Let me give you a Tennessee reference. I don't know, Oak Ridge compared to Memphis. I don't know. It's really apples and oranges. No way to compare this stuff. Let's have a drive through here and see what we got going on. So yeah, Mr. Bassam, if you are watching, this is where you're going to be living and working and prowling the nights. Prowling the streets, sorry. Prowl the night, doesn't make any freaking sense. I'm sure there's all kinds of seediness going on here. Nice. Old women singing, dancing. But yeah, Heyuan, small city, 1 million people. If you come here and I don't know, the difference between these small cities in China and where I live, Guangzhou, which is pretty huge, third largest city in China, I guess, about 15 million people. Big difference is the people are a lot friendlier when you come to these small towns. They're also very curious, because generally they haven't seen a lot of foreigners and so you will get tons of stares. Nobody's really looking at me right now. What's going on? Hey, am I not handsome? Come on. I'm looking good, right? No, there's no people here. Anyways, yeah, why am I sitting here? Let's get on up here. Let's just get around. Get around, I get around. I'm gonna hit this guy, and he's gonna hit me with his poles, with his PVC pipes. He's getting around. And so we passed. I don't know why anybody's waiting. People are unusually orderly. Maybe they just saw me coming in town. They thought, hey, let's follow some basic traffic laws with these foreigners here. I'm completely talking out of my ass there. Anyways, so this is Heyuan. People seem pretty friendly from what I've gathered so far. In Heyuan, how many roads must a man walk down? In Heyuan, you're not going to have a lot of choices of roads. About 3, I think. Not a big place. Like I said, friendly. Should be. And people here speak Hakka, Kajawa, which is a dialect of Chinese. It's almost like a mixture of Cantonese and Mandarin. But it is definitely different from standard Mandarin and Cantonese. Very different. It sounds like just a bunch of noise to me, but a lot of Hakka people here, and I guess that's one of the major dialects. I mean, I don't want to start talking about stuff I don't really know about, but Hakka, Kajawa. There's a ski food dealer, Sikifu. Kaja, I don't know. There's about 4 major dialects. Anyways, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna start talking about stuff I don't really know about. Let's get up here. Maybe this. I see some big buildings. Looks like maybe more of the downtown area. Seen much of this city at all. Usually just go straight to the Xinfengjiang Reservoir and ride around there, or make a big loop, and come back. What's going on up here? The highest fountain in Asia. Look at that. You see that? Highest fountain in Asia? What is that highest fountain in Asia? I can't read everything. I can read some characters, but good thing is you don't have to read generally in order to drive. In China, you don't have to read Chinese characters because they do spell out the characters in the Romanized form, pinyin. Let's stay straight on this road. I don't really know. This looks like the downtown area. Life in the fast lane. I want to get out of this slow lane. Alright, this is not doing anything here. So driving in China, not for the faint of heart. People do not follow
traffic laws. They're surprisingly more ordered here than I anticipated. Outside major cities, generally, I guess they're getting better at it, but there's no car culture here. And there's no history of driving. People don't grow up watching people drive and obey traffic laws. Most of the people are getting their first cars, first time car owners, and many people outside the major urban, big cities, they don't even take the driver's test. They just pay somebody. They just buy a driver's license. So, yep, gonna run this red light. Oh, am I? Nope. Yep. Sorry. Well, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Here it is. I need to go to the bank. And I'm gonna do that. Go get some money. ATM. Oh, I wish they had a toilet. That's something they're not going to have. Okay, check back in later. So, back to driving a motorcycle in China and driving. You'll notice motorcycle drivers generally don't follow the rules. Neither do a lot of people driving cars either. There's kind of a pecking, there is a pecking order to things. And it's kind of whoever's will is strongest usually prevails or crashes. Goofy as that sounds. You know, motorcycles bully pedestrians, and cars bully the motorcycles. Big trucks, well, they're the worst. They bully everybody. Just force you to stop or yield to them no matter what. So definitely a lot of bullying going on. That's for certain. I don't want to spill this into a political rant, but I guess that's why some people are apprehensive with China and these rows or disputes that it has with some of its neighbors, like Japan and Philippines, Vietnam, over the South China Sea that it's kind of claiming in its entirety. Some people see that as kind of China's gotten more powerful and gotten richer and now starting to bully smaller countries. Whether that's true or not, I can't say, but I can definitely say that people bully each other here. Why that wouldn't hold true for an international, on the international stage, I don't know. Not for me to decide. But rich people bully the poor, etc. Anyways, I'm not making this an anti-China rant because obviously I live here and for good reason. I like it. And I kind of like the lawlessness of it. Although, despite all that lawlessness, there's relatively little violence in comparison with places like the US, which are appallingly violent. Guns and stuff like that. I mean, I've never ever felt threatened here. I've walked down roads that I would never ever consider walking down alone in the middle of the night back in the US. Here, you know, there's just no worry about that. There's just, I mean, I guess it's feasible someone could rob you. It does happen to people, but in my nearly 6 years here, never any violence. Never been threatened with any violence, and not really seen too much. So for anybody out there that thinks, ooh, coming to a foreign land, scary, you know, that's just retarded. Especially for Americans who, you know, everybody's carrying a freaking gun, including people who should not have access to guns. Extremely dangerous in comparison. China is just not dangerous, aside from the toxic food and the air. No, just kidding. Sort of. Okay. I'm gonna get up some gas, I guess. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Probably be signing off on this one. See what happens on our way back home. If we got anything exciting, I'll switch the camera back on. If not, I'll be signing out from Sinopec. Say bye-bye. Or just smile. Okay. Adios.